Testing. Can you, excuse me, can you hear me out there? If you can, how are you this evening? Well, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. I am your host, Ed Honcho. Sounds different. I mean, it does sound different. Anyway, if you're not familiar with the Den is the best conversation on the internet. The reason why I feel that way is because the most amazing people in the world come to the Den each and every evening, Monday through Friday. Usually somewhere around 9 p.m. Central Time, maybe 30 minutes later, an hour later, usually in that range somewhere. But it is my honor, it is my privilege, but most of all, it is my pleasure to get chopping up with you guys each and every night. We got some interesting stuff to talk about. And I know some of you probably still want to talk about some of the conversation from yesterday. I know not a lot of people got to get in. And yes, I will, after the messages I have received, make sure to be strict upon the enforcement of the 10-minute rule. Okay, I won't play too many favorites. So let's see who we have joining us this evening. Feels weird. Something feels weird. And my lucky pen. All right. So we have joining us this evening, and let's get to some good conversation again. I hope all of y'all are doing well, man. I hope life is treating you good. I'm hoping myself. What's the day? The 11th. I'm hoping myself to be able to maybe share some positive news. I don't know. We'll see. So it just depends on how things pan out. But let's get it. Mr. Culture, aka the Don of the Discord. Yes, the world's toughest question. Next to the meaning of life. Can you trust the media? Just Sarah, how are you doing this evening, man? Hope all is well. Jason S., what's the motherfucking deal? Miss Bell, hope all is well. Dre, international pimp, international player. Mr. Dre, what's the motherfucking deal? Louis 17, what's the motherfucking deal? 17. And they got 17 on this fucking album cover. Looks nothing like you would expect him to look because of the way he sounds. But anyway, I don't know, maybe I guess he sounds just like Pimp C, so you expect him to look like Pimp C. But unfortunately he doesn't. But anyway. Let's see. D the Gamma, ma'am, how are you, Miss D the Gamma? I hope all is well with you. Dakota, what's the motherfucking deal? It's your boy Roman. What are you talking about? That I only put CNN people and no Fox. I didn't put any Fox people on the thumbnail. I could have sworn that I did. Maybe I didn't. I must have been rushing, and that's what I got. Shout out to Roman for noticing that. Let's see. Evie, what's the motherfucking deal? Cartier, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you, ma'am? I hope all is well in Las Vegas. Some people call it Las Wages. You know, I see that things are opening back up, so I hope everything is A-okay for you, ma'am. Mr. motherfucking Triple OG Keefe in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? It's Heidi. Hello, Heidi. How are you? Glad you could join us this evening, whatever you want to call it. So let's see. Beautiful story in Atlanta. All right, I'll be tuning in. I hope to see it on the news. I hope it's such an amazing story that it ends up on the news. 335 in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? And I think that's everybody. Hey, if I missed you, I didn't dish you. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm just saying that to cover my ass, right? No, I'm just joking. I didn't dish you. Let's talk about some stuff, though, right? Because there's a lot to go on. A couple of things maybe I need to touch on from yesterday again. And like I said, I'll try not to talk too much, and so that way folks can get in and speak their piece, right? So, all right, there we go. Make sure I got all the early birds. So talking about the media. And we're in a situation these days, it seems like, where the media can't be trusted. Like when the news it's supposed to be your go-to source for information, right? Or I think there's like a feeling associated with these brands, the way they put themselves out there. So whether you're watching it on television, whether you're reading it in a newspaper, whether you're reading it online, following via the Twitters, however you consume your news, because this is a new day and age, maybe the app, something like that. This is a new day and age, and people, consume information differently. Some people get to where the fucking notifications coming from. I think that's a terrible idea. I think it's an awful idea to have news alerts sent to your phone, because you're just bombarding yourself with tragedy, especially if you live in a major city or a major area. You're doing yourself a goddamn disservice, because you're like, that's all you do. You're just shooting yourself a bad news. Like, you be the most positive person in the world. Like, a week of that shit, you're gonna think everything is You're gonna think everything is terrible. So, there's that. Donation. Appreciate the love, 335. Gifts, donations. It's so crazy to me, man. That's so crazy. Like, I will never get over that. Like, that. How do you get that mentality? Like, that's a crazy thing to have those kind of expectations. But anyway, so it's not stealing a joke, Heidi, if you're the one that stole it from somebody and they just simply took it back. It's like taking the damn joke back. But, looking at the media, look at what's going on in the world, right? You see all this stuff. You see all this crazy stuff. We saw people with regular cameras exposing the media. And it's almost like a few years back. I don't know if y'all remember. What was that guy's name? Was that Fousey Tube or something like that? And he got basically exposed, like, with the fake social. I mean, you could obviously tell they're fake, but he got exposed, like, on video, I guess, paying the black kids to fucking beat up the car, right? And he's like, oh, left his car here. These black guys fucking attacked his Trump car. It's crazy, right? And so, he got, like, exposed, basically got, like, ran off of YouTube, doing a bunch of weird shit, said he's going to stay at people's houses, nobody invited. But nonetheless, like, but he's a jokester, right? He's a prince. He's a guy, YouTuber, got to do things to, like, generate views. But the news is the same way. The news has to generate views, has to get your attention, Bad and Bougie. How are you this evening, ma'am? I hope all is well. King Jaja, what's the motherfucking deal? So, like, they have to, keep your attention. So, if I'm telling you everything is good, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to get confident. You're going to be upbeat. You're going to want to go out and do things. You're going to want to be sociable. If I tell you everything is fucking impending danger, will I have your attention? Because, well, my life is being threatened. I need to know where to get the information from. And this is the only place I know to get the information. I don't want to look anywhere else at the moment, because if I do, then maybe I miss something. So the news takes advantage of it. But the news is the only media. But I think the news at one time was the most trusted media. And I guess you could say either the evening news. I guess let's separate that from, like, newspapers. I would like to believe that newspapers still have more integrity than the TV. Because I think, again, like I said, with that being a different type of media, or a different medium in which you receive your media, I think people, like, designate time to read their newspapers if they do have, if they're still getting a newspaper. I'm sure you got to be like 82 years old to get a newspaper still, but hey, if it keeps you up to date, it is what it is. I'm talking shit. Don't nobody attack me. This is not elder abuse or anything of that nature. But I look at it as a very dangerous place, because what's happened, especially in years of late, is that these big media companies have gotten exposed, especially the news, and let's focus mainly on the news, because that's what we're talking about. Media, we can talk about movies and all the other bullshit. We know we don't trust that. I saw a video that was floating around Twitter today. I guess all the actors got together. Yeah, and Pinkman was on there, right? And I like Pinkman, the character. No, I don't. Kind of, right? But I thought the actor and the way that he played the character, I thought it was exceptional. Like, his character development was fucking amazing, right? It was cool. It was like one of the greatest. It was one of the best written stories, acted out on film. Let me digress a little bit more. Do you think that, because people highly regard Breaking Bad as one of the best shows on TV. I think there's some others. I know people have talked about Game of Thrones and the way it ended. They were displeased. And I know, or I guess I don't know if it ended for good, or how the last season or something ended. Whatever. I don't know the show right now. I don't watch shit, so I'm assuming I don't know if it's over or what. Or like Sopranos and shit like that. Do you think that? And let me make sure I word this properly. Do you think that bad acting? Well, of course, I think bad acting can ruin a good script, or good acting can improve a bad script, right? And of course, good acting, good script, that's when you get some of these, shows that we like we said, we talk about are just some of the best. But like, do you think there's been shows out there that have been actually probably really good, but the acting just kind of ruined it, and so maybe it never got a shot, or maybe, what it could have been, it just never developed. I don't know. But going back to that, I'm talking about Aaron Paul, and he was in the video, and a couple other actresses in the video, and they were talking about, I guess, some Black Lives Matter. I cut the video on. I watched the first 4 seconds, and I cut the shit off. I don't want to watch this shit. This fucking shit is stupid. I don't give a fuck about that shit. And I asked y'all if y'all watched, and I said, I don't give a fuck about it. But get back to it. Like I said, the news is supposed to be the most trusted source, but it's like we're going to people, we're going to individuals, we're going to everyday folks like you and me to get the news. I mean, all of the things that have taken place lately, the protest riots and things like all the best footage came from people. If you see people who post things up on social media, you see these fucking news people, and they're running, well, can we have the rights to use your footage, please? We would love to use it. We'll give you credit for it. And it's just like, if I was a person, I'd be like, nah, fuck you. And I saw somebody do that once. They were like, everybody else would be like, the news, like, fuck them. They were like, no, you don't have permission to do it. So I thought that was kind of funny. But you see them editing things, you see them putting things in a way to, incite fear in people. They over-exaggerate shit. I think a weatherman has to be the best job ever. Like, you can be wrong every fucking day, right? And in general, you're not going to be wrong, because all you got to do is blame it on the fucking machine, the fucking radar, right? Well, fucking Doppler 9 million told me it was going to rain tomorrow. I don't know. I can't see up in the clouds with the fucking radar. Fuck you guys. But that's the only job you can be wrong all the fucking time and like never get fired, right? Like that has to be amazing. Like, imagine if you were that bad at any other fucking job. Any other fucking job. As your weatherman tends to be, right? Like, you can't. A week of that shit. 1 week of that shit, you're getting fucking fired, right? But it is what it is. So, beyond the race, beyond the funny nigga is a goddamn racist, all right? And if this nigga think I'm waiting a damn month for this comedy special, you can kiss my ass. I need the bootleg. Like, I don't often try to flex. I really don't have much clout to flex, right? But when it comes to the comedy specials, and if you haven't seen them, they on his IG page. When it comes to, I don't want to wait for that shit. Like, the nigga done already done them. He like, obviously they're done. He got a fucking date and everything, and then maybe dropping clips and shit. The shit is done, but we gotta wait. Like, what? Drop the shit. I can't stand that nigga. Anyway, but like I said, just you have people who go and, again, like I said, record the protest. The media goes to these people. You have people during these protests catching the news media, firing off fake gunshots, like pushing this narrative. pushing these beliefs. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, there was a clip that went viral a while back, and the woman was in a boat. The news reporter, she was like in a boat, and she's out there paddling the boat like it's just, it's so much flood water. I don't know if we're gonna make it. It's just we're underwater here, Johnny. It's going down. And like two dudes like walk by. I think one of the niggas was eating a sandwich or some shit. Look at this goofy bitch. She's fucking in a boat. And like over exaggerating shit. Like that's the whole fucking job, right? No, I'm all out the TV. Look at me. Fuck it. I gotta fix that. But she was all fucking, tripping. Like, and this is what they do. They have to try to incite some type of fear in you to maintain your attention. And again, everything's fighting for your attention. The news is no different. I mean, they got to sell ads. They have to make revenue. They're a business also. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Shit is terrible, right? What kind of business model like relies upon you, like making people afraid? Like, the news is worse than fucking anime. You know what I mean? Like, you ever, like the end of the fucking anime episodes, or even the fucking beginnings. Like, and they tell you, well, we're gonna find out next week. And they you talk for like 10 fucking minutes. You get like 10 minutes of intro, 10 minutes of actual fucking anime, and then 10 minutes of fucking outro, right? And like the motherfuckers talk, and it's always suspenseful, and they're all just sitting there stalling shit out. The news is basically that. The way they fucking hit you with these fucking segues. Well, there's a fucking virus going through the city, and it's murdering everybody in its path. But we'll tell you more about it right after these messages from our local sponsor. Like, what the fuck? Right? I'm about to die. I need to know what's going on. Right? You know what I'm saying? And so, hey, you leave my left hand out there, right? It does what it wants to do. I'm like, I cannot be constrained, not even by my own shit that I fuck up. Players fuck up, right? So my thing is just like, come on, bro. Like, can we stop the nonsense? Like, can we really just stop the bullshit? Can we like stop trying to like get everybody hyped up? Like, how would people watch the news if it was real though? I don't think so, because we wouldn't panic. Like, if the media didn't hype shit up, would we have the fucking problems that we have? Because honestly, I feel like everything that we suffer from as people up until this point, somehow, some way, you can trace it back to some type of media hype, or there's something behind it. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it 6 degrees of separation or whatever. I'm sure that's easy. It's fucking TV in everybody's house. It's fucking connected to the TV. But think about it. Television media, right? Now I'm not talking about the news. I'm just talking about the pictures on your screen. Hey, I got these symptoms. I don't feel terrible. I don't feel bad. It's just a little weird shit. I got a fucking sore ankle, and my elbow hurts when it rains, right? Okay, so fucking sitting down, watching a little television.
In 2019, 6 corporations owned all media outlets. I think it's 4 now.
That was terrible. Shout out to Dan the Man. I appreciate the love. It says in 2019, 6 corporations owned all media outlets. I think it's 4 now. Then eventually there'll be the one that rules them all. And that's when it's around. That's when it's all over. It's gonna be fucking Conglomerate Corp, and they're just gonna run everything. It's gonna be like the fucking every 80s movie ever. It's gonna be life in 2025. But I appreciate the love, sir. It's just like we're in a situation. But it is a girl fest. It definitely is a girl fest, which really used to be a sausage fest. Now it's a litter of kittens. But like I said, you can trace the media back to everything, right? And think about, like I said, I got the elbow that hurts when it rains. I got the kind of swollen ankle. I'm sitting down at dinner tonight. I need to know what's going on in the world or what's just happening. I want to laugh. I want to chuckle. Well, Also, people of my demographic seem to happen to like the same things I do. And so these companies, they know this. They do a lot of research. It's worth money. And so they know I'm going to watch this show before I even know I'm going to watch it. And they have that ad queued up and ready for me. And as I'm watching, I don't know, fucking Urkel or something, and the commercial comes on. You got a little achy elbow within range. You got a little swollen ankle. Well, you're about to fucking die. Ask your doctor about this medicine. We're not saying you need it. And he probably wouldn't recommend it to you unless you say something. But ask your doctor about this medicine. And they hype it all up. And then the fucking, we all know the side effects are way worse than the fucking shit it's supposed to be fixing. So, you know, you over here tripping because you're like, okay, this is a stupid ass commercial. But then you watch the show for the rest of the week or whatever. And you see it a couple more times. It gets lodged in your head. Next time you go to the doctor, you ask your doctor about this stupid fucking medicine. He's like, fuck it, here, take the shit. You don't give a damn. And now you got a fucking extra goddamn foot going out the side of your fucking ribs. You know, I don't know. Because you're taking this fucking experimental medicine. It's just like, I don't know. But like I said, TV hypes us up into buying and believing like we have these things that are not that major. Turns into hypochondriacs. We're all fearful of one another. Like, the media does this. It really does. Like, I wonder what would happen if like all the news networks just fucked off for a week. Like, just for some reason, like, you couldn't get national news for like a week, right? I think the world would be a fucking better place. I really do. I mean, all of them. Like, I don't care which side or whatever, like, all of them. Like, just shut it down. Because I think that we get hyped up. I mean, think about it. Let's be honest. A lot of shit we talk about on a daily basis, y'all hit that like button, comes from shit that you see on the fucking news. They tell us they deem what's important, and they sell it to us. And you have, like I say, the shit like with George Floyd, but then you also have situations like with Tony Temple. That was not that long. You have 3 or 4 other stories, but because the characters involved are not the same, and it didn't play out as perfectly for a media shitstorm as the George Floyd story. No, these guys are not interested. Like, don't these people deserve the same respect? Don't they deserve the gold casket and the fucking horse-drawn carriage and the fucking, you know, get the funeral from 2 or 3 places? Don't they deserve that shit too? I mean, they were unjustly killed, but because the characters involved, you know, we can't blow this up. We can't make this a worldwide fucking story, right? So it's like the media is what's in control. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful now to see, again, like I made the point earlier, and then I'm over with the line here. I'm like, Honcho, shut the fuck up. You know, we want to fucking call. You fucking talk too much. You know, it's beautiful to see, like, people, individuals, actually, you know, get out there and do it. And as you see, you know, various news channels and, you know, people giving their comment on their own thoughts, or they're actually getting in on the story. Like, the news will brush over and say some bullshit about us. Oh, what tragedy. You know, they don't give a fuck. Like, that's what I hate. I don't really hate, like, people. I don't want to generalize like I hate people, but I think, like, newscasters are primo trash. You know what I'm saying? I think like people who do the news on television, like for television networks, whether it's local, whether it's like the fucking national, any of the major 4 or 3 letter network, like, oh, they're fucking trash people. Like the fucking leaky juice at the bottom of the fucking garbage, right? You know what I'm saying? Like just trash. You know what I mean? Because they're so fucking fake. They're like really, really fake people. Like, how do you have a segment on the news where you go from like a tragic story and, you know, this is just a tragedy, and I, you know, just don't understand what's happening, and then now we're having a fucking miniature pygmy pig fashion show, and you just like, it's just too much shit. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like the feelings, the shit that they put out there is all disingenuous. I fucking hate the news. I hate the media, but I don't know if I want to say I hate them, but it's just like maybe I gotta blame the people for maybe not being as aware, or maybe everybody is aware because, right, I get all the memes and I get the fucking, just all the various shit on social media. Media's evil. Here's proof, here's video, here's that. And I'm not disagreeing with any of that, but if I'm getting it, everybody's getting it. Why the fuck aren't people changing their habits and the way they consume shit, right? Why does it still have the same impact? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Give me just a second. My elbows on the screen. I look like I don't know, like a Mexican in the summertime when you ride in a car. Maybe that's not a race exclusive thing. Was that racist what I just said? Mexicans aren't the only people who ride with their elbows out the window. Niggas ride with their that's not a race exclusive thing. I was just being very racist. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. But Dan, appreciate the love, man. And 335, appreciate the love as we get ready to open up the line. Give me un segundo. Are we booing racist, Honcho? You going to bed, Mr. Keith? You have a good evening, sir. Like I said, I'll be waiting to get an update on the beautiful story. This is the day and night. We cheer racist Honcho here. We don't boo. We don't boo this man. But yeah, like I said, and so is it people having a weak mind to allow the media to control them? Is it people not doing their due diligence? Is it people that we have to blame? Is the media just doing the job? They see a loophole that works, we use it, right? Is that how things work? And also, did I talk about it last night? I don't know if I mentioned it last night, because I don't know if I knew last night. I don't know, maybe I found out it was official today. I think I mentioned it last night. Maybe I did. But what the fuck is up with the Elmer Fudd thing, right? Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd, no guns. What the fuck is going on? What kind of stupid shit is this, right? That's their whole persona is fucking. I mean, Elmer never shot shit. Elmer, he shot himself. Bugs always fuck him up and just do some dumb shit. They never really shot shit, but we tripping on their guns now. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here. This is bullshit. This is what I'm saying. This is. If you'd talk to me in the 90s, right? If you'd talk to me in the 90s, I'd have been a child, and I'd have been like, why are you talking to me? You're a fucking stranger. Calling the police. But if you talk to me in the 2000s, right? Around the time I was in high school, getting out of high school, early 2000s, and said that, the world would be the way it is today, and that people at my age, say, being a teenager at the time, and compare myself to teenagers these days, would embrace it and accept it. I would think you're a bullshit fucking liar. Fucking youth ain't accepting that fucking punk shit. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody's with that shit. But it's like the youth are softer than ever. Everything's crazy. The world's gone mad, right? And so this is where we are, man. It's very unfortunate. But let's boot this line up, man. Let's get some calls in. Give me just a second. Like I say, it's a crazy world we live in. Y'all be safe. Don't let them erase your guns, right? Because that would be unfortunate. All right. Guess it would help to put these in. I know y'all feeling my hat behind me. I'm gonna give me one of the bitches. God damn it. All right, there we go. All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, what's up? It's Dan, bro.
Dan, the motherfucking man with the plan. How you doing this evening, Dan?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Just chilling, I guess, I'm getting ready for a test Monday, so I'm doing studying this weekend and see my family. Got to see my dad and see him in a minute. Make sure he's doing all right. Stuff like that, basically.
Okay. So, Dan, how do you feel about the media?
1984. That's how I feel.
Mm.
I never heard of that book. Anyone in Dan never heard of that book? It's essentially, it's like a prophecy about what the world today was going to be. Thought crimes and double speak and private companies, wielding power, and the state deems what speech is acceptable and getting your identity erased for saying the wrong thing. And it's what's going on now. I mean, look at social media, which I consider as a part of the media. I mean, the word media is in there. You know, I mean, look at all these people getting canceled. Look at the current cancel culture. If you were to just say one thing that's against the status quo of whoever's running that particular website, you done, at least in a social media aspect, you know, which I think is ridiculous because you're still alive. But I've heard of people killing themselves over stuff on social media. We've all heard of this. So it has gravity in people's lives. Some people make a living off of it, shit. And I ain't hating you on that. Just, you know, when some of these IG thoughts start crying because, you know, they said so many people start following them and they start chastising people for not giving them enough money, you need to get a trade, sister, okay? You need to learn how to weld, HVAC, something. Get off your ass.
You would love to see it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Turn a fucking wrench. It ain't that hard. I've seen a lot of women turn wrenches. Shit, get the fuck out of here. But onto the media, like, you know, news media. I mean, I noticed you had my favorite proud black man, Don Lemon, on there on the little screen cap.
Yeah. Oh man, that's black power right there.
Yeah, man, that's the blackest, man. Black of the bear, I guess. You know, that's why he's staying in his segregated community with his white boyfriend or husband or whatever. And then, you know, Anderson Cooper, who I mentioned earlier, he's going to inherit. He's part of the Vanderbilt line of heirs and things like that. So, I mean, when people like that start telling me how to live my life, like a lot of these celebrities who are part of the media too, and in a sense, they're part of the entertainment media, not the news media, I start tuning them out because we don't live the same lives. And Prepaid said it. If you don't know how much a bottle of milk is, you can't tell me to live my life. I mean, that's real shit, bro.
Correct.
That's facts. Right? Shout out to Prepaid. But but I know right now, mostly liberal media, it's really just scatterbrained everywhere, you know. But there's three things. I support whatever agenda is the big thing right now. A few years ago, it was trans rights. Now it's back to black people. And a little bit before that, it was the woman with the hashtag Me Too. Sure. So it's just, okay, trans, then woman, then black people. In a few months, it'll be Hispanics to illegal Hispanics specifically. None against legal ones. And I'm not even that mad at illegal immigrants, but just try to make a process become an actual citizen. You know, that's what I'd say, because I will have no issues with your actual citizen. But then someone coming for a justification for that, you know, they work cheaper and, you know, they still contribute taxes and they're essential workers. I'm like, that's good and all that, okay. I'm not going to argue with you. But when it comes to media, I don't trust any of them. And that includes Fox News and some of these other conservative news networks. Because I remember back during the Bush administration, when we ran into the Iraq for no good reason for supposed weapons of mass destruction, Fox News was caping for the Bush administration all day. But did they find shit? No. How many Iraqi civilians got killed over that bullshit? How many American soldiers got killed over that bullshit? I know at least 100,000 Iraqi civilians, and at least I lost count of how many American soldiers. But they were caping. Even when Bush himself said that we were wrong about it, they still wouldn't say, hey, he was wrong. So you might have Tucker Carlson saying some real shit now, which it's not hard if you look at some of these other issues like David Dorn, that there's shopkeepers losing their shit. And he did a really good segment about that. He mentioned David Dorn. He mentioned that shopkeeper who had his shit burned down. And a lot of other ones too. He mentioned the young girl got shot in the back leaving the rally in, I think, Iowa, I think.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, I will respect someone like that for calling shit out. But I can't be keeping behind the whole network, bro. You can't keep behind everyone blindly.
True.
Now, I don't care if it's CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Like I put in that text earlier, only four corporations. I think it's Viacom, Comcast, of course Disney, and AT&T. I think they just bought Warner Brothers. That's who's running this shit right now. And you don't think these four motherfuckers get together at their? I don't even know what that kind of rich is. That's not rich. That's not wealthy. That's deity status right there. That's Super Saiyan, essentially, in terms of money. shout out to anime. You mentioned anime earlier.
Really?
But, man, it's just like, I prefer more independent media, like a lot of guys on YouTube. I know Jimmy Dore, he's progressive as shit. He bashes Trump. He bashed shit out of Biden recently, pulling up a bunch of older bullshit Biden was doing. Because Biden ran back in the 80s, I think, for president against... he's going to go against Reagan, obviously. Reagan ran in the 80s, essentially. And he got caught doing a lot of plagiarism, He lied about his college record, saying he was this top 3% of his class when he was actually like the bottom 10% of his class.
Oh,
and all
shit.
some crazy shit. Yeah, I'll put that in Discord if you want me to. Yeah, I got you. I'll put it in there. So, you know, this dude's he's a fraud too, man. He's been frauding since the 80s, though. You know what I'm saying? He might say Trump frauded some real estate shit, but shit, Biden's been frauding trying to be president for a minute. It is what it is. Yeah, I'll put that in the Discord, bro. But I guess, like, the media, like, I believe in contrary public opinion. Whatever most people believe, I try to look the other way. And I'm not going to stand in line too long. I got to, like, shoot, let me see. I got about 2-3 minutes. Actually, I got 4 minutes. Okay, just make sure I'm good. What turned me about Trump, and I'm not riding for him 100%, but a lot of his policies I do agree with. It was initially seeing him come out in 2016. I hated the fuck out of him. I'm like, Trump, this bald motherfucker, da-da-da-da-da. You know, meeting a bunch of guys in there, like, man, fuck Trump, da-da-da-da-da. But I started listening to some of his speeches, like what the shit he mentioned about Sweden and some of these other countries and the shit they're going through. And I was trying to avoid that. And I was like, you know what, let me see what he's talking about. And I went to independent media, took up this information, and I was just shocked by what I saw. He was absolutely right about the way these countries were going. The massive immigration that's unchecked, the crimes that's spread off, the race, the murders, and just the general civil unrest that happens from here. So I started, you know, going to more different news outlets, well, not even news outlets, independent sources of media. Usually just 1 or 2 people who do their own investigative stories. And I'm like, wow, this is real shit, you know. South Africa's crazy. I mean, and there's stories about that. White farmers getting murdered, and just it's going to be a failed state in the next few years. That's what people are predicting. And yeah. And yeah, Trump, Biden's locking up millions of black people. Yeah, now he's trying to win the black vote. Maybe all those felons get out in them 20 years after he's locked them up in there. Maybe they'll vote for him. I'll let their felons that can't vote. Never mind. You know, I don't know. Okay, what does that have to do with this? It means how the media will downplay something that someone else says, because a lot of the mainstream media in Europe, they did their best to hide all this stuff that was going on with the mass immigration. They hid the rape reports. They hid all that. You had to go to independent sources to find the truth of the matter. How cops are juking stats so it looks better on the government for these policies. That's what that is. So I don't trust anyone, really, especially some talking head on TV. I don't remember the last time I actually watched news the whole way through. But that's all I got, man. It's all fraud, man. You know, I don't know.
Well, I agree, Doug. See, I think the last, actually, I'm not gonna lie, during some of the whole quote-unquote pandemic, I would tune in to see if anything breaking would happen, but that would kind of be on in the background. I wouldn't sit here and say that I was just fully attentive to it, but yeah, man, it's something about it. When you watch too much of it, it makes your day bad, makes your life all doom and gloom. So yeah, I try not to. But listen, Ben, okay, well, Mr. Dan, like I said, I appreciate you calling in, and good luck on your test, and you know, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, with the current things going on this past year, you know, the COVID and the riots, man. I mean, look how they've been skewing all this stuff. I mean, a lot of these numbers being juked. The media went out of its way to defend a certain country. I don't want to say it out loud. I don't want your channel to get banned. But the independent sources found out this information about the doctors that went missing. I think one's called Dr. I. Fenn. She was one of the first people to know about this disease and let the world know. That government didn't let them know. It was certain people let us know about it. And they tried to silence them. Well, they did silence her. So most mass media didn't talk about that. Yeah, Heidi. Yeah. Oh, Ben Heidi, she's fucked. Okay, she said it. All right. But yeah, it's stuff like that. And then with these riots, peaceful protests, I don't need to say anything else because the way they've been skewing this in most media outlets, it's insane. I'm for peaceful protest, but burning down 40-year-old businesses and shooting people, no. And now they got that whole free zone in Seattle. You heard about that?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. It's a weird thing that's going on, apparently. Some type of little communist block they've arranged. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to wait to see how that ends up, man. I don't know if they're going to send in the troops. But actually, and I'm gonna go before I get off. I mean, I'll talk about this before I get off. I posted another video on Discord like a day or two ago called "The Three Cities." It's a documentary about the failure of three major cities: L.A., San Francisco, and of course Seattle. So I'm about to watch some more of that. And there's another one called "Seattle is Dying." I'll post that too in the Discord. And that's about why Seattle's fucked. And that's actual reporting. That's actual journalism. A news station actually did that. So there is journalists out there, but good luck trying to find them. So, and that's all I got, man. Have a good night, Honcho.
All right, Dan, man. I appreciate the call, sir.
All right, thanks a lot, man. All right, y'all be good in the day, man.
All right, you're good. Interesting. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
What's good, Honcho? Hold on real quick.
Right.
Hey, boy. Didn't I tell you to fucking change that? Well, fix it. He didn't switch out the smoke detector. Sorry about that.
Oh,
My apologies. Sorry I had to hear that.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, safety first. You know, safety first, then teamwork.
Yeah, let me come in. Yeah, well, they're going to learn the hard way. Shout out to Dan the Man. All facts. Well, after me, I just wanted to call and let y'all know this. The thing is, it'd be nice for y'all to know this. I get up every morning and read the paper. Every morning. And not only do I read the paper, I wear my bathrobe and I wear my house shoes. Now y'all probably thinking to yourself, why in the fuck is this nigga reading newspaper in his bathrobe and house shoes? Now, Honcho, we about the same age, so you know why I do it.
Yes.
Growing up, I was told this is what successful men did. So when the time came and I can afford my subscription, I read the paper every morning. There was nothing more important to me on Sunday morning than the Sunday paper. And I'll tell you the reason why. The Sunday paper offers things that none of these websites can give you. The Sunday paper is going to give you every last high school football game, every last college game. It's going to give you every last stat, every last in-depth analysis. Everything that you don't need is going to be right there in this paper. Over time, as me consuming a newspaper, I started to learn something about myself. I learned that what newspapers do is they give you a whole bunch of shit and you decide if you want it or not. On websites and social media, they give you headlines. And they have determined what you want or not. See, I'm a newspaper guy. Give me all the bullshit. Let me see it all, and then I'm going to decide what I want to read. Some Sundays, I don't care about high school football. Most Sundays, I don't. But every now and then, I want to check up and see what high school scores are looking like. Newspapers capture this. Websites got rid of it. Because if they put a headline and say, Katie defends championship, people going to think Katie won a championship. But the article was about Katie defending the championship back in 2003.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter because we are such a microwave society, we jump on these headlines and that's all it takes for us. That's why the world's so fucking crazy right now. The longer the article, the least amount of people read it. And the crazy part of it, one news source, and this news source tickles me so much because people quote it and they live by it. There is no news source, you can look this up, who writes more retraction features than the New York Times. The New York Times get caught pumping fake news all the time, and people haven't caught on to it yet. People use New York Times as an actual source. Now, what makes a person believe that or do that, I have no idea, because obviously you have no idea how media works. These people have been caught time and time and time again. I'm just like, how does this keep happening to y'all? How do y'all keep falling for this shit? It's the same news source doing the same thing. So, in my personal opinion, I consume my news like this. Any article is written, I read the whole thing. I want to consume it all. I want to make my decisions from there. If you're going to give me a headline, I'm so bad this Honcho, I don't even read this shit and even get excited. I'll read a headline and be like, okay, let me find out the actual origins of the shit. Yeah. Once the origins come out of it, let me go through and fact check it from other sources. Because like Dan saying, as y'all can tell, as much as people who love to say, oh, y'all love Trump, we don't actually watch Fox News. These people all have bottom lines. The only difference is that conservatives like myself, Republicans like myself, We're going to tell you these people have a bottom line. Yet people are living and dying on the words of Anderson Cooper. If you don't know about the Vanderbilts, bro, there's no way possible for listening to you. Like, if you don't realize how these people are living, I think Don Lemon makes what? It's like $4 or $5 million a year? Did Don Lemon become this ultimate woke nigga, or is Don Lemon just getting his paycheck and going home?
Getting paid.
Because you ain't gonna sit here and tell me, you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that black is beautiful, all this other bullshit, and you was out here, everybody been calling you white for the last, 10 years, and all of a sudden, you down and riding for the cause, but then you got this white husband. Something ain't adding up here. So either Don Lemon is fooling you niggas, or that white boy was knocking his back out to the point where he done found himself out here. And I just don't know at this point. But the media, and then the worst part of it is that the media gives people a platform who don't deserve one.
Yes.
We need to cut off all celebrities from telling us anything about how the world works. Every last one of them, y'all. I don't care how much you like them. Just listen. If they can't tell you how much a gallon of milk costs, they can't tell you how you should live your life. These people are so disconnected to how the real world works. It's so bad. Anderson Cooper is telling you to defund the police, okay? When Anderson Cooper's mom dies, he might get $300-400 million minimum. Do you think Anderson Cooper? When was the last time you think Anderson Cooper talked to the police? Like something happened where he had to call the cops. Like somebody was on his property. Like seriously, like when was the last time? Like come on, y'all, think about this. These people telling you to defund the police. Like what is the logic behind that? LeBron is telling y'all we need to defund the police. LeBron owns a soccer team, y'all. I don't even know any niggas who don't. Listen, all the niggas I know who successful coach a little league team. This nigga owns a major a professional soccer team. Come on, y'all. Enough is enough. Got the celebrities now making a video talking about they denouncing their white guilt. What? What? Dog. And what is? And listen, this is my question. Black people, for y'all not to trust nobody. When the fuck did y'all become so gullible? All these people, all these corporations, everybody jumping on it. We just want to come out and stand in solidarity. That's called tokenism, you idiots. They do the same shit to the fags every year. Every year around this time, they get 1 month. If you go to Forever 21, you take your daughter, you take your son to the mall, all the clothes be real small in the store. They roll out all the tie-dye clothes. They roll out all the little spaghetti string shirts with the peace signs on them and all that shit. That happens for 1 month.
Yep.
June 1st to June 30th or 31st, how many days in this month? And then when July hit, they kick all that bullshit out of here. The little faggot boy that work in the back, he don't work in the front no more. He back in the back stocking shelves all over again. That's tokenism, fam. They take care of the gays for 1 month and 1 month only. And black people, you're headed down the same path. You're headed down the same path. Because somewhere along the line, y'all have decided that these people really care about you when they don't. They don't give a fuck. They don't give two flying fucks. But the media you consume tells you that we're at the top of the food chain. We got control. Just because y'all got a few white people for 5% of all lives matter, don't mean you controlling shit. It don't mean you controlling shit. If black people understood how media is consumed, we would stop feeling like we have all this control when it comes to elections. We really would. They're like, oh, look at Trump trying to get out here and pander for our votes. Y'all only 13% of the population. The nigga can win without you. All he needed was 5% of y'all votes last time to win. What is he pandering to you for? Biden needs your goddamn vote. Trump don't need your vote. But the media has told me that Black Lives Matter is the forefront. You got to have a black agenda to win the presidency this year. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. It's June. I'm telling you right now, you can put me on record. By the time August get here, it ain't gonna be a black nothing when it comes to politics. They ain't talking about a motherfucking thing when it comes to politics. About black people. Ain't no Black Lives Matter movement. They gonna go take all your little paint y'all done paint on the ground, took all the pictures for all that little, photo ops y'all took. They done washed all that shit off the ground. They ain't gonna mention a motherfucking thing about reparations. All that shit they is. And then what's gonna happen is one of y'all black leaders gonna get on the media and ask y'all what happened to all that money Black Lives Matter got. That's what y'all gonna be talking about. Where's all that money going? That's what you should focus on. If these people done got $400 million in the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks, where's all that money going?
Exactly.
Now, I kind of know where it's going, but I ain't going to tell y'all because I feel like if I tell y'all, y'all ain't going to look it up for yourself. It starts with the Democratic Party and ends with the Democratic Party. That's where the money goes. But that's not here nor there. I want you to go look it up for yourself because I don't want you to say I lied to you. But yeah, man, I don't trust the media. There's some people who can. If you're a person who believe that, you know what I'm saying, every hurricane gonna hit you, and you know what I'm saying, the coronavirus gonna kill you if you walk outside, you can believe the media. I can't trust the motherfuckers because every time I look up, they lying to me.
Correct.
Everything you know about the media, you should take the coronavirus and go from there. We went from being on lockdown, social distance, we don't know how long it's gonna take. It's gonna kill millions of people. To every last governor who told you to stay inside, out there locking arms and protesting with people. How the fuck does that work?
Right.
It's too dangerous for you to go out here and work your job. However, if you want to go out here and steal from the Baby Gap, I will stand in solidarity with you.
That baby need new clothes, man.
If for some odd reason, you need to go to the dentist to get your teeth done or, get your braces adjusted, I would not suggest it. I don't think it's safe. But if for some odd reason you just happen to want to go out here and pull down one of these statues that you have no idea who the statue is of, I stand in solidarity with you. I stand in solidarity with you. And let me tell you the funny part before I get off this phone. And this is how the media will try to fool y'all, man. The media has determined that the pulling down of these quote-unquote Confederate statues, these races and all that, these racist people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me explain something to y'all, bro. Majority of these statues date back so far before our time, it's to the point to where you have walked past these statues and never, ever noticed it.
Mm.
But let's say, for example, that for whatever reason, in your mind, that was a sign of racism and you want to get rid of this is Confederate shit. Do you know these dummies are tearing up statues of abolitionists?
Yes, that's wild.
And they have no idea. They tore down Master Baldwin statue in fucking Philadelphia, a white man who literally donated his whole life savings to build an African American school. The man spent 30 years fighting against slavery. And these idiots who don't know anything about history have decided to pull the fucking statues down. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, so when you seen the statue, you didn't think to maybe look down at the name and maybe do some research on it?
Yeah.
Maybe I should read on this and see what was going on with this. And then here's the bad part. Instead of the media coming and say, well, this idiot pulled down the wrong statue, you know what they all say? Well, I mean, you gotta think about the passion. People they're so hurt. They're so hurt. What?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
They always have a way to spin it. They have a way. It sounds real good. I mean, they gonna spin it. It's gonna sound real good, but shit.
Well, the loss of George Floyd is still got people outraged. Look, bro, your wife gonna cheat on you 2 weeks ago. You still ain't mad about that shit. Let that shit go. You was not still telling your own shit about your wife cheat. Nigga, you was not out here for George Floyd. You was out here because your ass is bored.
Correct.
Then, a wild part, Hunter, you probably seen this shit. They was pulling down a statue, I want to say, of Christopher Columbus, and one of the dummies was in the way, and the damn statue fell on it.
Yeah, I saw that. That shit's crazy. Gravity.
The nigga, you could see the nigga's skull. You could see the nigga's skull hanging out of his head. You could literally see his physical skull hanging out.
That's crazy.
In critical condition. And the fucking media gonna say, well, I just really feel like, the passion, man, we got the best of him. No, he's a motherfucking idiot.
Yeah.
That big ass statue probably weigh, 300-400 pounds, and your dumb ass gonna be up under when it come down. You deserve to die. I hope that the ghost of Christopher Columbus whoop your ass forever. You fucking idiot.
Yes, he deserves to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
They burn in hell. C Honcho, it's mind-boggling. You ain't paying attention now. One day in history, but want to sit up here and do all this tearing up shit. I'm hearing niggas saying shit about, yeah, man, you know, this year for Juneteenth, man, we gotta go all out, man. And niggas like, bro, I didn't even know about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
You did. Wait, what? Lord have mercy. Honcho, listen, I know everybody didn't get the same education, but I know motherfucking well niggas was taught what Juneteenth was.
Yes.
I know what people would. Then they gonna say, yeah, this the year we don't celebrate 4th of July. Bitch, we ain't never celebrated 4th of July. We just all off work. We barbecue every time we off work. We pop fireworks all the time. Niggas shoot their guns. I'm gonna shoot my gun every chance I get. I might shoot that bitch on Thanksgiving if you don't stop me. Come on, man. Ain't nobody celebrating the 4th of July. This ain't never been something we just celebrating the 4th. Yeah. We gonna sit out. We gonna get them. I'm gonna get on the grill. I'm gonna get drunk, talk shit. Probably forget I'm cooking the meat. Might burn a couple pieces of meat, whatever. That ain't no celebration. That's just niggas doing what we do when we off. It's the same way for President's Day. We ain't celebrating none of the presidents. We just getting fucked up. Like, come on, man. Stop that. All these fake, everybody's so in love with black love. Okay, cool. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna celebrate Juneteenth depending on what Chicago do. If Chicago kill more than 20 people, Juneteenth canceled, bitch. Cause these niggas here, boy. So that's it for me. I ain't gonna stay on the line, man. I just want y'all to know that every morning my taco meat is out and I'm reading that motherfucking paper. Y'all have a great day.
Already prepaid. Yeah, man. You made a good point about that, because now I'm thinking about it. All the shows, depending on what your age range is, but all the shows growing up when I was young, as folks were coming up, the dad always was at the kitchen table and had, you know, the fucking newspaper, and he, you know, had the slippers on, a little OJ or smoke a pipe, whatever the fuck it was. The dad was always with the newspaper, but you know, it is what it is. Very interesting. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Yo. What's poppin', son?
Mr. Ken.
How you doing?
Doing good, Mr. Ken. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing excelente. Is that how you say excellent in Spanish?
One of the variations of Spanish, I'm sure.
Okay, probably the basic level. I speak very basic Spanish.
Okay, I'm remedial Spanish right now, working my way up.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
You can work your way up to like intermediate and like teach some fucking Spanish class. You like
I'm just
I failed like 4 times throughout college and high school. But anyway, how's it been going, man? What's going on your neck of the woods down there in that pit?
You know, it's all good on my end. Life is good, no complaints. What's going on in photographer Ken's world? What's happening? What has the day brought us?
Well, I actually had a shoot today. It was a interesting shoot. It was an actual Black Power shoot. That was fun.
Have you been getting more requests like that ever since the George Floyd incident?
I have actually. I have. Definitely had a rise. I haven't had any like Black Power shoots like in a couple of months. Well, probably since like February. So yeah, it's been like a major spike. Not a major spike, but more than normal. I'm loving it.
Okay.
Power to the people, man. Power to the fucking people. Look. With the fucking bourgeoisie class, listen, when we get our shit together as the Black collective, when we get our shit together really soon and, you know, get this town and really like start like implementing laws and shit, all that shit, the bourgeoisie class, we will remember you guys. We will remember you. You know, and we will not be doing business with you guys, the Black collective.
I don't know, man. You know, I was thinking about the town, Ken. I was actually thinking about it earlier today. I was like, you know, it would be a really good idea. I think it would take a few little things to make it work. But then I really got to thinking about it, and I was like, you know, the town is not going to work. It's going to be some young lady, you know, who may have had a wild past, and she's reformed, and she's doing better in her ways. And she's going to invite her baby daddy, fresh out of prison, to try to make it work for a second chance. She's going to invite him to the town, and it's going to be a slippery slope from there. It's just going to go downhill. You know, it's going to be a lot of trouble.
See,
The town's
I
going
don't
to be
think you
ruined.
understand what this is going to be, bro. I don't think you understand. See, this is not like some bullshit. This is like people's money being sponsored. This is like a once in a lifetime thing for us to get it right. Just do it once and get it right, no mistake. And so there is no room for error. You know, this is something that is when it happens, it has to be strategic. So ain't no bullshit, no baby mama, ain't no bullshit. Like, we kick the motherfuckers out. Like, ain't no bullshit like that popping. We here to thrive as a people and build and build. We don't got no time for no foolishness. We banning motherfuckers from the town. Ain't no drug dealing, crack shit, prostitution. That shit is out of it. Ain't none of that shit out there. Like, I feel like that people just follow the leader.
Okay, just making sure, you know, because sometimes things have a way of happening. So I was just making sure, you know, that the town would be proof of these incidents. You know, what's the saying? One bad apple can spoil the bunch.
Right. Right, but that is why, you know, I mean, realistically speaking, when you look at, you know, when we come to solutions and things about black people, you know, it seems as though that we really can't, like, no matter the solution, especially the bourgeoisie class, I mean, my gosh, like, we just cannot wrap our minds around any of the ideas, you know. We can't, like, fly on a galactal, is that a word, galactal?
We'll make it a word for this call.
Yeah, whatever that is, path, you know, and, like, go use your imagination, you know, but we can, like, create movies, though, you know. We can think about fucking Star Wars. We can write books. We can do all these things creatively, but we can't somehow seem to, you know, think about something as simple as creating a town. Like, I mean, how do you think other towns got created? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the blockage? You know, I think that it's just, I realized that when you throw out shit like ideas and stuff like that, I realized, you know, not just, you know, in this setting, but in different settings. In the NAACP, I'm a lifetime NAACP member. I've been in the NAACP since I was in elementary school. Like, and it's always some disagreement about solutions. Always some disagreement about solutions. And usually, those disagreements is coming from the bourgeoisie and the otherwise. Usually where it comes from.
You know what? You just said something that reminded me, because I think we got off stream last night. I can't remember if it was in the Discord. I was jotting something down. And I was just thinking about it, you know. We always talk about, you mentioned the bourgeois, when we come together and get the town. We always talk about coming together, right? Everybody's like, you know, we just got to come together right now, all the racial stuff. We just got to come together. You know, it sounds, pause. You know, all everything. We got to come together. People just got to come together. It sounds really good. You know, yeah, everybody come together. Then what? Because that's the very, very beginning. Like, coming together doesn't solve anything. Everybody can be in a stadium and everybody come together. Everybody can be together somewhere. When do you start making real decisions? And it's kind of in line with what you're saying, that nobody can agree on a solution. So some people want to do this, some people want to do that. Nobody's willing to sacrifice their beliefs, for the greater good, and so that's why everything's always divided. It's never stable. It always kind of crumbles.
You're exactly right. Couldn't have said it any better. Their beliefs and ego is in there, comfortability is in there. We're so used to sacrificing as Black people to get by, and as parents, we're so used to sacrificing, but I don't understand how is it's so difficult for us to sacrifice for the solution part, like for us as a collective. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I'll listen to you. So here's my thing, right? And if you've had the idea, it's a big world, big country, lots of people, millions of other Blacks out there. I think, what is it supposed to be? Something close to around 50 million, something like that. I don't know. I might be exaggerating the number. I'm not going to pull out the calculator and do any math. Just whatever the number is, several million. So it's lots of Black people with money, regardless of what, again, we're talking about the media. The media will show you, you'll swear the media will give you stock footage of, the big belly African babies and tell you that somewhere here in America in a Black community. But why don't you think these ideas haven't been, all these artists, all these rappers, they hang out with each other all day. They had all quarantined to Skype and do all this other stuff. This ain't the first time it's happened. You talk about all the other incidents that garnered a lot of national attention. You had a fucking Black president in the White House with all the resources you need. Why hasn't that happened yet? Why haven't the town idea come to life? Do you think people believe Atlanta's good enough?
I'm telling you, bro, bourgeoisie are the gatekeepers. They're literally the gatekeepers, and they're usually on the side of capitalism. And, kind of separatism, if that's the word. Individuals, whatever, for themselves and their family and not for the Black collective. When you have the mentality that, it's just about you and yours, even though centuries down the line that may trickle down and help the Black collective, as a whole through centuries. But my oh my, how much quicker would it be, instead of for it to just trickle down? How about, actually rain on down, not just a little crumb? Because what they're doing is, what the Democrat people are doing is, and what anybody really has been doing throughout history is that they give us the little crumbs here and there because we're easy to please, and they give us little crumbs here and there to get us satisfied, calm us down. Something else happens, they give us a little crumbs here and there to satisfy, to calm us down. The celebrities are a part of the capitalism. They're a part of the system. The rappers who rap about bitches and hoes and rape and misogyny, all that shit, they're a part of the system. So it won't, they're not going to come together with the people who actually need, because there's more people who need than the people who don't need. You see what I'm saying? There's more people who are below, who are on that poverty level than Jay-Z and them, or the middle class, the do-for-selfers, as they call themselves. It's less of them compared to the people who actually need the help. So they're not in those predicaments of, even though they may have been in that situation in their past, but because they're do-for-selfers, their interest is not in the Black collective. Their interest is in themselves and for their family, which is okay, but it does nothing for the advancement of us as a collective, because it's all about them and them being the Black American dream, and it's not about, extending the rope back down to the other crab and continually getting the other crab out of the barrel. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why it has not worked. I see it with my own eyes, like meetings after meetings and conferences, and when we all come together from like the national level, and it's a constant clash. It's a constant clash, and it's usually that money and what they feel like we need to do with it. That's usually what separates us from actually, coming together. And religion.
And all bullshit to the side. Like I said, the town thing, it's a good idea in theory, but I think you got to look at a lot of things. And again, you got to talk about, okay, well, what does it need to function? Well, you need functional, professional Black people who are willing to move to this place, who are willing to take a risk, basically uproot themselves depending on where they are in the country, possibly their families.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but the guy wrote that nobody cares about poor in America. That is a lie. Mexicans, they care about themselves. Many of them, it's more poor than there are rich. They uplift each other. They help each other out with their businesses. They do the pool and other racial groups do. So that is a lie. Capitalists and super-selfers don't care about the poor. That's a lie. I'm sorry to cut you.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that it's a great risk, and so you gotta think about it. And again, like you said, are you willing to go out and do something for the greater good? Honestly, and in my opinion, the ones that I think that would be most beneficial to something like this are the type of blacks that the Black community ostracizes. And so, and I'm not saying to sit here and say that you don't have any Black professionals that are accepted by the Black community. That's not true. But I mean, there's going to be certain things, certain jobs that you're going to need. There's going to be certain fields that just have to be applied for people to live in a town. You're going to need certain positions. You know what I mean? And so, again,
Right.
and the Black people who may hold these positions or have this experience are probably at a cushy job, thinking about, why would I take this risk? And again, like I say, so I think that, like, while the town thing sounds really good, I think it's extremely complicated. But it was something I was reading about. Somebody, they were basically trying to get something together to make it easier to buy Black-owned products. And so I think the focus needs to be in the digital space, and we need to catch up with other places that come. Like I say, as far as a race, I think we're extremely behind utilizing these type of things to our advantage compared to others. Because it really comes down to money. Because I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's basically about how do we find ways to keep the Black dollar in the community, because that's how we all eat, grow, and benefit. But
Right.
I think getting, like you said, a collective of Black, especially professionals, to come out and do something different, and like I say, take a risk career-wise, family-wise, everything that goes with that. That's a tough deal. And then again, like I said, to deal with the lack of conveniences.
No, but Honcho, you have to realize there are plenty of occupations out here where people are gone for 6 months to a year at a time. The circuses, they're gone for long extended periods of the time. They don't see their families for extended periods of time. The Army, I mean, the cruise lines. There's so many careers where people sacrifice their home, their family to focus on their career. And you have to think about, like, the people who are moving and shaking out here, who are like, these are young people. Back in the day where the revolution, these are young people. So when you think about what it takes to make a town move and shake, your auto mechanic, he's not making $100,000 and $200,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? You'll need the people who run the water company. You'll need, you'll need the teachers. You'll need, like, these people who are young, who take, low salary freaking jobs already as teachers in the freaking low mid 20s early 30s thousand, like teaching. So like there are young people who would literally, I believe there are young people who would literally sacrifice. And the caller, the guy said, he made a comment, Powernomics. I mentioned that last night by Dr. Claude Anderson. Like he speaks about this in his book. Like, but it's possible, and it's not going to be, there will be some school sacrifice. So Serena Williams' husband, he freaking quit his fucking job. Like, I mean, he's right, but like, he resigned to to give it to a black person. A black person, he feels as though a black person should take his seat. What is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that shit. Y'all would have kissed my ass. He is,
right.
I like to believe people are created equal and all that good stuff. But when it comes to, I guess, standing tall in your beliefs, he is better than me. Absolutely. Would not give. I love all of the different. I think y'all are all amazing people. I think y'all are super wonderful. If I was in a position like that, I'm not giving up my job just so somebody else can have it. Like, simply based on the fact that somebody, make sure they're black. Like, if there's somebody more qualified than me, will beat me out, take my job. But, just sit here saying, I'm just going to give it up because you guys just need to put somebody black here. Now you're doing a disservice to whoever gets that job, because now, well, you're only here because you're black. You're only here because buddy quit and so it's like you didn't. Your merit, no matter how much work that person has put in up until this point, will be discredited because.
Well, no, not really, because at least he'll be the best black candidate.
Will he? Do you think they really gonna entertain going through all the black candidates to find the best black candidate? Or they're gonna find a good enough black candidate since it just has to be black.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what I'm saying. So I think, like I said, I don't think you. I think whoever ends up in that position is being been done a disservice.
I mean, I agree and I disagree. I'm in the middle of that. I'm kind of in the middle because he is black, and he got to be black.
Hollywood Kenneth pro-black for real.
Then all the corporations out here who have to meet a quota, or well, not all. Excuse me, that's not even a thing because they're trying to put in place a 50% or something like that. So that's not even in place. But there are some companies and corporations where you need your black, so it's nothing new, But like the people who would go to this town, I'm sorry, I'm going to get off the phone. But the people who would go to this town, they're not the people who are walking around caring about, like, for the most part. You talk about creatives, people these are not people who, for the most part, who care about, the glitz and the glam and how they look. And they care about the product that they're making. They care about the finish line. They have a goal, and they want to meet that goal by any means necessary. They don't care if they lose a week of sleep to get it done. They're going to get it done because those are creators. So those are, some of the types of people who would, basically create a town because who creates? Creators. Like, we're not talking about getting Pookie and Ray Ray. And I'm talking about we're talking about like the creators, and of course you're gonna have to obviously get some older people in there as well, but it's possible, man. All you need is financial backing, and organize the right group. It's possible. Right advisors, get the Honorable Farrakhan, like get these some people in there to advise Clark Anderson, like get some key people to advise on how this would go. Look at history, on how towns was created and shit. Like, it's possible.
Claude Anderson been in the game for quite a while, huh? If I'm not mistaken. I say Claude Anderson. He's been in the game for quite a while, hasn't he?
Who?
Claude Anderson. I'm so used to my mic being over here so good. Okay. And it's a lot of other, folks who have also kind of been in there. Why, if these guys have been doing these things for decades, why hasn't this happened yet? Why? I mean, again, of all the things we can make it rain in strip clubs and do all these other things, why can't these people, make this thing
Because
happen?
I'm telling you, back when segregation, when we were about to get
Hollywood Kenneth, don't be caping for black women.
we were getting desegregated. When they say like, oh, I'm gonna the white man because of culture. That's literally like a thing. Like that's literally a story. When desegregation happened, like we wanted to literally get into people's establishments. We want to fit in with white society. And here it is, 2020. People still want to fit in with. We still want to fit in with white society. We want to be accepted. And it's just like that little stepchild that you treat like shit, and they still at your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you need anything from out of me, mother? That's what we are. And it happened when desegregation shit happened. So throughout history, we've been wanting to get accepted by these people. When you get your celebrities and this, that, and the third, they still, even though they might be like right there in the circle of celebrity life, still it's still room for them to grow to get more closer to the white establishment. So it's a yearning thing to get that acceptance, and that is what I believe is one of the reasons why Claude and many of the great, Farrakhan, and also ego. Ego is another reason why motherfuckers weren't able to, I believe, to get the shit together, and also other grassroots organizations popping off. You got Black Panthers, you got the Move organization, you got various organizations popping off left and right. So it's hard, like, which way we gonna go? Then you got motherfuckers like, you got feeling the poverty of people, prostitutes.
Honcho, the main Honcho shirts on sale now. Sparkling heart, sparkling heart, sparkling heart, sparkling heart.
What you taking over there and poison all the damn niggas? Where did he take those people? Remember Jim Jones? It was in Jonestown. Got the actual country. Where it was, but I mean, it's just so many different like bombs like coming at us left and right. Like it's crazy. Bombs over Baghdad. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry, sir. What was that?
Why are you laughing?
I get entertaining messages sometimes behind the scenes, and so.
And I know they're all about me. I'm pretty sure.
Some are, but I mean, depending on when it is. There's I'm saying that every message, but somebody made a reference to something, and it was a bit humorous. So that's that as well. But yes, sir.
I won't bore the people any longer. My people anyway. I won't bore them, even though no one really fucks with me. But I still am speaking to them. But yeah. Good night. Who is this Miss Thang? Who is Miss Thang? Please tell me who that character is. That character been real like popping off. Like every call, like, who is Miss Thang? Miss Thang. Who is that person?
That's Miss Thing.
Oh. Okay.
New sexy
All
thing out.
Well, damn. All right.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah. And who is this? And who is this? Never mind. I'm not. Never. Yo, I had your back, son. I had your back, son. That's why I be calling. I call the niggas in this chat. I call them light switch.
Light switch.
Motherfuckers light switch. You know, they be on and off. Like literally, it's like you just never know what you're gonna get with them. It's never. Yeah. Have a good night, Honcho. Peace and blessings to you. Big ups to you for giving a shout out to the Kente. I hope you got your bean pie.
Yes, yes.
Popping off. But yeah. Yeah, have a good night.
Oh, you too, Mr. Ken. I appreciate you calling in, sir.
Thank you for having me, man. Take care.
All right. Shout out to Mr. Ken. I hope anybody calls in for the next call but Josh. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again.
Well, God damn it. Hello, Josh. How you doing?
I'm doing better.
What's on your mind this evening, Mr. Josh?
First question, so why did you want it to be anybody but me, but you answered my phone call?
Well, you know, sometimes, just sometimes, you know a certain individual is going to say and or do a certain thing, and just sometimes you're not prepared for that. And then, you know, so I know Josh is going to come in here, he's going to be reckless, he's going to be rowdy, he's going to be disrespectful, he's going to use a lot of profanity, racial slurs. You know, every time Josh calls, it gets real crazy in here. So, you know, I got to be mentally prepared for anything that Josh could say. You know, he's always drinking, he's all over the place, out there fighting hoes in Miami and shit. You know, so that's what I say. You know, I don't know if I'm ready for the craziness of one of your calls. But no, I'm just fucking with you, Josh. What's on your mind, man?
You gotta keep the chat entertaining, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta keep people involved.
So where's the next trip? When's the next vacation when you going to escape to after being locked down for the
I mean, if Rona disappeared, yeah, I ain't even finna. But I'm not gonna do it to myself in harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have fun, but I'm not gonna put myself in harm's way trying to get sick.
It's too late.
Okay, so about this media topic, when the media is owned by the top 6 companies, then they pretty much control what goes out there and what's being used. So that's pretty much documented. Whoever don't know that is probably not paying attention or doesn't care. And most media is biased towards one side or another. CNN, Democratic, Fox News, Republican. There's some independent media out there, but they don't get enough coverage. So you only see them if you're looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
So media is biased. So
should it be that way? Should we have to go out? I mean, 'cause, you know, we're force fed Democrat, Republican, but then when you kind of want unbiased, legitimate, or maybe, you know, like I say, you just want it straight down the middle. Give me the facts only. Don't give me any opinion. You got to go out and hunt, try to find it. It's very difficult. It's still going to catch some opinions, but like, why does it seem like it's more difficult to get the just straight news? I mean, why can't you just get the information that you need and then make your own decision? Why can't they do that?
Because the people that, you know, own these people have money interests. Like, it all comes back to money and politics and control all over.
But what do they get
It's
out of
mainly-
controlling the people? Like, what I mean, like, what are they really getting out of mass population control?
Because it's almost like this, and I know it's sad, the more people that succeeds, the more inflation goes up, which means the more shit costs. So it's better to keep people at the bottom so I can have control over you. It's fucked up. I mean, I don't think like that. That's a fucked up way of thinking, but most people think like that.
Okay, so Josh wants to keep the poor man down. Okay. So I get it, right? And so you say that the people, they figure, you know, you make too much money, it's gonna inflate things. But I mean, to me, you know, they just pull a bunch of money out of thin air to send everybody a little check or whatever they sent y'all. And there was no problem. Nobody thought about it. So what's wrong with somebody just making a little bit more money? What's wrong with, you know, somebody getting a little bit more change in their pocket from being a free thinker or maybe deciding how they want to live from thinking freely? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Like if people were more secure of themselves, they wouldn't care if someone else is succeeding around them.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you got black-owned businesses, quote unquote, succeeding now due to the unfortunate death of George Floyd, which is supposed to be like that. It's sad that it always has to take someone dying for us to try to do the right thing. But I'm interested to see months going forward, how is this energy going to be kept up? Is people going to go back to everybody for themselves, crab bucket mentality? So
that's what I'm wondering too. Like, again, you had the extremely lavish, luxurious funeral. It was an amazing way to go. It was fit for a king. And it's still hot right now. You know, people still talking about it. Got a couple of other incidents. You know, it's the popular thing to do. But now that the body is buried, as it seems to happen with a lot of these incidents, now is the energy finna taper off? I mean, are people tired? Have they used all their protesting energy? How much longer do you give it before everybody forgets about this, or do you think that there's going to be a real something permanent, a positive permanent change that stems from this?
And again, I guess like I said earlier, I'm gonna use this for an example too. Houston, I did not know the police budget was almost $1 billion already. That's wild per year. And everybody was protesting to defund the police, and Sylvester Turner does what they always do, say that for the people, and pass a legislation to raise the police union to raise the police budget by $30-something million, and only banning chokeholds, and that's about it.
Well, that chokehold had already been banned, so that was just a show to make it look good. So here, I'm gonna let them fool y'all niggas. I bet these niggas don't know this. Watch this shit. And we're banning chokeholds. They go crazy. I'm gonna throw these niggas the bone. They gonna think they getting something. But yeah, I mean that's what they voted for. So.
And that's an example because once I found out that even Sylvester Turner gets money from police unions, I knew it was over. That's why I really don't even march like that no more, because it's like, what am I, like, if I do something I know it's not going to bring change, it's going to be a waste of my time. And I don't want to sound harsh, but it's just the truth. It's almost just like, that's the reason why I knew Biden wasn't going to defund the police, because you have companies that make bullets and vests and police equipment. They donate to Biden campaign, and he takes money, so how am I going to believe anything is going to change when Biden has already told donors, rich donors, that nothing's going to systematically change since 2019?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's nothing different. Same face. Well, new face, I guess you want to call it a new face, recycled face. He does have a recycled looking face. And, same old shit, and you get the same results. So yeah, we talk about insanity a lot. But yeah, niggas are going to be mad all over. It's going to happen again. And it doesn't matter, even if Biden did win and it happened under him, what's going to change? Nothing. So it's not even an issue of, party. Honestly, though, I'm thinking about it, so I'm going to pause for a second. Honestly, niggas need to start thinking about hop to the other side, because where a lot of this stuff happens, again, where a lot of the major issues are in these majorly democratic cities, and yet overwhelmingly blind voting for one party. Like, I believe education can change people, right? And so what I think, honestly, the problem is that most black people are not educated in voting. Again, I'm not going to sit and say, well, I have a degree in political science. I know how the whole system works from the ground up. No, I do not. But do you think that if there was some type of hypothetical grassroots program to go out and educate niggas about voting, do you think it would change the way they voted?
I think over time it will, but social media is a very powerful tool. And what I would say is this: people are starting to wake up to the fact, because they did run the Minneapolis mayor out of town. So people are starting to see really what it is. Like, we're not going to see it on Twitter or nothing, because, like I said, that solid majority part that Trump was talking about is real. Because we have a situation of Biden is leading, but 50-something to 60% of the people wants police to have more funding and they want more policing. It's like, how come everything, and this is why the media can be dishonest, how come everything on TV can be defund the police, but the American people don't want that, and the polls show that.
What do you think about the anti-lynching bill? What do you think about Rand Paul being the sole detractor from it getting passed?
The anti-lynching bill, I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm probably going to read up on it, more about it later, because I've been busy today. But as far as that, I mean, lynching should be outlawed a long time ago anyway. But I guess we have to commend people for doing the bare minimum, sadly. So,
do you think because he didn't, sign on for that, do you think Rand Paul is a racist?
They didn't sign off on it. I think he's a racist. The man has racist tendencies. That's a racist tendency. Am I going to call the man 100% racist? No, because I don't know the man personally. But that is a racist tendency when you don't sign off on common sense like that. I mean, that's just me.
So, like, just briefly, again, like I said, I don't know everything. This is just my perception of it. The anti-lynching bill is a kind of a crock. You feel me? So you're gonna read, you're gonna see anti-lynching, and you're gonna automatically. When I say the word lynch, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, Josh?
Lynch is, I'm gonna just be honest, black person getting lynched, like you see in movies or any pretty much slave movie, something like that.
Well, the anti-lynching bill basically broadens the terminology of what a lynching is. And so basically would turn some things that may not be hate crimes or may not be what you would think they are into hate crimes simply because of the way the actions went down. And me personally, I believe that's why Mr. Paul didn't sign it, because he didn't like some of the language, that it could be deciphered improperly, right? And then you know what happens with a hate crime, that's going to enhance your sentence or whatever else it may be. And so I believe that was his thing about it. But the anti-lynching bill is mainly about them broadening the terms of lynching to use, I guess give it a little bit more leeway or whatever it is. But it's not necessarily about people are against or people are for keeping it legal to hang niggas from trees and shit. So, yeah. So.
Okay, sure. Like, it's just, I mean, that should be outlawed anyway. But I mean, because I thought that should be over with. But sadly, that still goes on somehow.
All right. Anything else that's on your mind there, Mr. Josh?
Now, one more thing though. Even because someone is just about who you vote for, but this might, and this saddens me to say it as someone that used to usually votes Democratic. Really, this might be the first time I might leave it blank, to be honest. I mean, the presidential one and then vote for other people, because it's like with Trump, I can see the things that he's doing. He's trying to do the right thing, but the son of a bitch comment he said to Cap kind of turned me the wrong way, just to be honest.
Word.
Yeah, just think about it. When we say that to a white audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing it comes off as at first is him being racist, pretty much, because you're changing the narrative and Cap is really saying something about this. So
I got a question.
All right, cool.
Is son of a bitch a white cursing phrase?
I'm gonna say as of right now, white people say it more than black people because black people have another word, but I'm gonna say no because I guess I'll say like it's a general term, but white people say it more. That's correct.
Okay. I'm just sitting there thinking about it now, and I'm just like, I've heard it used, but I always think about it when I see it in the movies. I don't think I've known anybody personally that was black that used the term "son of a bitch." I've heard plenty of bitch ass niggas, but never son of a bitch. But I've heard plenty of white people use, so that's why I was just asking. Okay, I don't know why I threw that out there. Chat, let me know what y'all think. Question goes for y'all too. It just came out of nowhere. I'm sorry about that, Josh. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you thinking about, you said voting for everybody else, but not on the presidential level, and because the son of a bitch comment didn't sit right with you. Do you feel?
Speaking head
honest,
Chica,
and just
wow,
being,
wow, tears
hard,
of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy.
Everybody's their own opinion. Do you feel like Trump is racist deep down inside?
Again, like I said, it's very hard to prove racism with anybody. Because anybody can be like, well, I meant this, I meant that. But the man has done things in his presidency that if people do call Trump a racist, I can't argue against that with concrete fact. With every last thing that he says. So it's almost just like he brings things to himself that he doesn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the man just got off Twitter, 50% of the time he'll be a better president. His approval rating to go up, honestly.
I don't know, boy, he got Twitter juice. I'm trying to follow the blueprint. I'm trying to get my Twitter game like his.
Nah, but every 2 hours though, like that shit, come on now. Like I'm not even on Twitter anymore.
It's clockwork. But see, it's not a thing to him. Do you really think that President Trump is on some smartphone tweeting, every 2 hours? He's probably just saying something out loud to somebody and they tweeting it, so it's like not a thing to him. Hey, you asshole, tweet this shit right now. Sleepy Joe Biden is a hoe ass nigga. Hey, I can't wait to see him square off in the debates coming up soon. Pull up, bitch ass nigga. And that's all he has to say. Somebody else is tweeting, so it's not like he's probably like walking down the hall or something, so it ain't no big deal for him. You know what I mean? And so it's just.
But I do give him this though. I do feel bad, like a little bit, for him a little bit, like cause you know what's going on in Seattle right now.
The little communist zone.
Yeah, I kind of, because again, when you do that, like it's almost common sense. When you burn down your city, when you pretty much circle everybody away from that area, you collapse the environment, you destroy everything. People are going to be unemployed, right?
Yeah.
And now the unemployment rate is going to go up. Now it's Trump's fault. That's why I don't like. That's why even the COVID deaths, I could do that because you'd be like, okay, he could do it sooner. All right, cool. The unemployment rate, rate. I like I don't blame him for that. The virus and looting and other shit caused that shit.
But do you think, other people look at him in the same accord? Because you've had people since day one, trying to find ways to, by any means necessary, undermine every single thing that Trump has done, right? Some things you may have, a leg stand on. Some things were baseless. And yet, even with what they thought they had something to stand on with, he's basically come out unscathed. He's hasn't been touched. He's still doing fine and dandy and everything else. So you have those people who are just determined to put any and everything on him, and they'll make sure they twist the narrative that way. So I know you say you don't necessarily pin it on him, but what percentage of people do you think do?
like Twitter gives a false sense of reality, so I'm gonna say 99% of Twitter do, but the real world actually don't. Because when you go out and really talk to people, it's a different feel. They don't blame Trump for everything, and this is on both sides.
Okay.
There was a lot of, because when I was at UTSA, when I was in San Antonio, this is how I knew Trump was going to win, because I didn't believe it until the day of, and then I've seen so many people, Mexican people that voted for Trump, and they just didn't tell people because they were afraid that they might get attacked, called a coon, all kind of shit.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it, right? I mean, I've seen motherfuckers talk shit about other people and presidents and all that, but like the lengths people have gone to hide the fact that they voted for fucking Trump is crazy. It's unfortunate. Like, you shouldn't have to do it, you know.
Yep.
But this is where we are in 2016 through 2020. So, yeah, that's what's up. Okay. All right. Well, that's a BT.
No, but I'm good, man.
All right. Mr. Josh, well, I appreciate you holding. I know you were there for a minute, but I thank you for waiting, and I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us this evening, sir.
Always, man. Anytime, man.
All right, you have a good evening. All right, we'll end it with this call here. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Honcho, I tried to be peaceful, bro. I can't take it no more. It's prepaid. Look, man, I don't want to hear no more about this fake ass village or town y'all talking about ever again. That's just stupid.
What's wrong with the town?
That shit's stupid, bro. We should all be talking about these fallacies and these fake
People will
oases
secretly
and shit, man.
vote
That shit ain't happening, bro. These
#TRUMP,
fake utopian towns.
#FACTS.
Every time I hear a nigga talk about, oh, we should build our own town, then the next thing you hear about, oh, we need people to come and spread the wealth and share their income. I don't. This what makes me angry about this. Every time niggas living on their own, they got money for everything. They got money for all the new shoes, all the designer belts, all the flashy cars. Time to build the city? Well, you know, we really hope that Robert Smith can come in and help us, because we don't know how we gonna get this done. We don't know how we gonna do this. You know, we just don't know how we gonna do it. Every time a nigga die, please donate to the GoFundMe. Fam, let me explain something to you. All this bullshit ass blaming on the bourgeois and all. Look, man, that shit ain't about nothing. Look, fam, you were black in America. You're the most disenfranchised person in the country. That's what y'all tell me, right? That's what the news tell y'all. Ain't nobody finna feed you. Ain't nobody finna feed you. Nobody. I think the Powerball was like $400 million. Somebody won in Arizona. I guarantee you, if that person black, they not finna feed all the niggas. I promise you they not. It's not real. Wake up. The reason why we in this fucking situation is because we don't understand assets. The silly shit that holds no weight, we live and die by that shit. If y'all want to read something, open your mind to something, read Guns and Butter. If you want to know why we can't sit around and save each other, because as men, we have to go out here and provide for ourselves as men, for ourselves and our family. If you don't understand the concept of that, it provides for your family in actual debt, read The Richest Man in Babylon. Correct. Read these books. If the books are too long, then why don't you listen to the audio books? Help yourself out, so you don't keep walking around here talking about some little fairy tale land with pixie dust and shit. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. You can't sit up here and preach this idea of this fake ass, we buy a town and we got the family farmer and the family attorney and you got the family one dentist and all. Man, look, bro, that is for the approval of white people, because I live amongst white people and I don't want shit from them. I ain't worried about white people. I'm gonna go out here and go get it, because this is who we are as a people. Up here putting in research about a place that we ain't never gonna fucking buy. That shit silly. In 2020, listen, in 1964, I could have this conversation. I can't have this in 2020. Understand debts. Understand what an asset is. Until you understand property value and mineral rights, you probably ain't gonna never have shit. That's kind of how this whole thing works. We gotta stop talking about this shit. It's a waste of our time. Seriously, I don't mean to offend nobody, but I meant to offend people. I do. Seriously. Move the fuck on. I can't even, from a business standpoint, the only place that I ever see that all niggas work together in, and I'm just being real with you, Honcho, what's the only place you see niggas? It's all nigga establishment, barbershops, beauty salon.
Yeah, that's something to do with getting fresh.
Okay, cool. What place is more chaotic than a fucking barbershop?
You said it's more chaotic than a barbershop?
Yeah, name a place is more chaotic than a fucking barbershop.
Shit. It ain't too many other than a fucking nightclub or some shit. You know, it ain't too many places that's wilder than a barbershop.
Thank you. You don't know if they can edge a nigga up or cut a nigga with a razor. Come on, man, stop this shit. Stop this shit, bro. I'm just so past this shit. Like, seriously, can we please stop with these fucking fallacies? Like, bro, it's not happening. It's not happening. We as a people are not meant to all be living on top of each other. We're not. If that's the case, then what the fuck is going on in motherfucking in fucking Chicago right now? What's going on here? They got their own town. What was that place Chief Keef from? What's that called?
It's an O Block.
O Block. Hey, I've been to Chicago numerous times. I ain't never been to O Block. You would never know that niggas are getting smoked like that in Chicago if you ever go. If you go downtown, you wouldn't know that. I'm walking, see the little river and shit. It's like glistening off my wife's skin and all that shit. You could never tell. O Block, they have motherfucking shootouts every 30 seconds. How does this work? Y'all talking this Oasis bullshit when we got Flint, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. We got Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We got St. Louis, Missouri. We got all these fucking Democratic ran places that literally got all Democratic and some of these places got all black people in leadership, and look how we living. They don't get no more black than Baltimore. They just replaced one black female felon with another black one. And the one they replaced her with as mayor, she already got convicted of a felony also in the past. They're going to put her in place now. So why is not Oasis in Baltimore? What's the problem? Why the education so fucked up? I mean, they got their own city. They got their own laws. They got their own football team. Even them niggas violent. So what seems to be the problem? What seems to be the problem? Maybe we're not built for this whole utopia idea. Maybe that's what it is. I know we want to sit back and make it seem like we can be like the Asian culture, but that's impossible. Them motherfuckers work together in harmony every day.
Yes, sir.
They don't even talk to us. We're looking for nobody else's approval. Niggas writing books talking about this beautiful black utopia. Man, kill that shit. Even in the movie of Black Panther, do you know what the wild part about the whole concept of Wakanda was? They had the opportunity to go save all these black people who didn't live with them, and they sat back and did absolutely nothing.
Correct.
Let their own people get slaughtered every day. Let their own people have oppressors and did absolutely nothing. When they had a chemical or whatever the fuck that is vibranium, they could have saved all their people and sat back and did nothing.
Correct.
And y'all talk about this magical. We're gonna create our own city. We're gonna create the Black Woodlands, I guess. Come on, man, stop this. Stop this, man. Stop this, man. Stop this, man.
You know you can't do the Black Woodlands. It's gonna be as soon as niggas get there. You know you gotta have a cool nigga. It's gonna be the Hoodlands, and then they're gonna be the twisting some other shit up. So it ain't gonna be cool for too long. But yeah, the wild part is, Kenneth, you keep talking about this. That you got a problem with capitalism and bourgeoisie, but then you say you don't want Pookie and Ray Ray there. Nigga, that's literally bourgeoisie. You can't keep yelling about how much you dislike capitalism, but then you want successful black people to be there. How you think they got there? Nigga, socialism is not finna feed none of us. Period. And can we call a spade a spade? We would never have no fucking city, no town, no village, none of that shit. The black people who y'all need, y'all don't even have no respect for them. Ben Carson's the most brilliant mind of our generation as far as the black community, and niggas hate his fucking guts. Robert Smith did something I ain't never heard of a nigga do in my life. This nigga woke up
went to somebody's graduation, decided he's gonna pay everybody debt. He ain't even go to school there. What y'all make this nigga at? If I got $20 billion, Honcho, I ain't gonna never wake up and say, you know what? I'm gonna slide on over to the PB, man, pay everybody debt off today. It's never gonna happen, fam. It's just not gonna happen. Bro, it's just not gonna happen. I didn't go to school here, bro. It's just not gonna happen. No, before this man could even finish shaking niggas' hand doing a photo op, they Googled the man, found out who he was, found out he was a Republican, and had a white wife. That nigga was canceled before he could put his car in reverse. They canceled that nigga. Boy, that nigga was on the flight, found out he was canceled. He had no idea. God, them niggas canceled me? What that even mean? He didn't even know what it meant. He put his head down and cried. My nigga say he cried on the airplane, bro. They canceled my nigga before they could. He couldn't even get through fucking TSA, and they canceled my nigga, bro.
That's fucked up. Yeah, could the ink wouldn't even dry on the check, man. But that's what I'm saying, though. It doesn't matter, even when people, if you do bring these people, because it's always going to be somebody. And that's why I truly believe, race is a factor in a lot of things, but I don't think it's as big of a factor as a lot of people are playing into certain stuff, because you're going to have your own kind who are not going to want to pull weight. And say this little city get to floating and then they do get to rocking. Eventually, you're going to have the same problem to everybody. Well, like you said, this person makes too much, or they're doing this. Why are they so much more important? You know, the identity politics start rolling in, and you start having all these other issues that come into it. Like I said, to me, I think you just got to focus on, the black dollar. Everything else, will work its way out.
Man, look. Listen. Before we can get a town, before we can get any black businesses, let's get back to the foundation. Let's focus on creating that family structure. Right. That's what we should do. I think it should be one-on-one. If we can get back to raising our own kids and stop having all these kids out of wedlock, I think a whole lot of our problems are gonna change. From there, we're gonna focus on accountability and stop lying to ourselves. We can't keep living where we have a record amount of people killed in Chicago, and then we turn around and our first thing we got somebody tell us, you got a black chick with a nappy afro with motherfucking glasses on and one of them little what they call onion ring in the nose and whatever little piercings called, talking about some. That's the problem with us. We always focus on black crime. 18 niggas died in 24 hours, and you worry about how we label it, how the niggas got killed. Okay. When we focus on taking care of the family structure, accountability, I'm telling you, the rest of shit gonna start falling in place. Because all that finger pointing shit ain't doing nothing but getting us passed up by everybody. Everybody passing us up. Some of us can't even speak English, and they passed us up.
Correct.
Hispanics, bro, and listen, if you are not Mexican, and when I say man, I'm talking about Mexicans from Texas, man, the people who be around us. Them motherfuckers don't know no English. They do two things. They gonna take care of their family and they gonna work hard. And them niggas gonna land on their feet.
Correct.
They ain't got this shit figured out. Y'all complaining about jobs, these niggas post up in front of Home Depot, fam. Yeah. You drive to Home Depot at 7 a.m., guess what they doing? They out there waiting for work. Yeah. You mean to tell me these people out working us? The nigga can only say C and no, C, no. That's who I worked us? Come on, man, fuck all that. This who I worked you, bro? How in the fuck is a man that's 5'3", 162 pounds and not worked us? God ain't gave this man no physical gifts. None. Come on, man, stop this, bro. Come on, man. We got to get past this shit. Enough is enough. We got to live in the fairylands, bro. Ain't nobody going to feed you in America but yourself. That's it. Because don't nobody care about the poor, period. Nobody. That's the one thing that united all Americans. Don't nobody give a shit about the poor. I feed the same homeless Hispanic nigga every goddamn Monday and Friday. He be by my job. I feed him every Monday and Friday. He eat the same shit every Monday. He want 2 of them fucking 4-for-4s from Wendy's. He tell me get 1 drink just full of ice, the other drink just full of Sprite. 1 cup full of ice, 1 cup full of Sprite. That's it. Don't nobody care about the home. Don't nobody care about the poor. Stop lying to yourself, man. In 2021, we ripping all the Band-Aids off black people. We're going to stop lying to ourselves. Ain't nobody coming to save y'all. Nobody. Stop feeling like y'all so motherfucking important when it comes to voting and shit. Y'all only 13% of the population. Y'all won't have any kids. Y'all keep aborting all your children. Your population ain't growing. Stop lying to yourselves. We so motherfucking small when it comes to this whole thing called life in America. We're so minute. Now, when y'all decide y'all gonna stop having all these motherfucking kids out of wedlock and start taking care of your responsibilities, then we gonna have a conversation about us coming together as one. We can do that then. But until that time comes, y'all go to X me off. I don't even want you ain't gotta say prepaid that. Don't even mention me. Whatever y'all build it over that. Y'all do y'all thing. And when a nigga say, man, this nigga over here, man, I'm tired of light-skinned niggas, the whole town gonna be on fire before you know it. I'm tired of this nigga with this straight hair, man. I'm tired of Honcho, man. That nigga hair so motherfucking long, they gonna burn the whole thing down. So y'all can have that shit. That's it for me for tonight, man. Y'all be blessed, man.
That's a bad prepaid. Shout out to prepaid, man. I think that's a good way to cap off the evening, man. So, yeah, that's my thing, and that's just my deal. Like, there's so many little nuances that go into constructing the town and constructing it right. And I just think we just it's too many different things. We all want too many different things. So here's the deal. It is about that time. Y'all already know what it is. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. We're gonna slide into the Discord. I'll put the link into the Discord if y'all want to chop it up again. You know, the Discord conversation always live, always good discussion. Even when I'm barely in there. But shout out to the Den folk, man. Y'all always hold it down. Like I say, y'all always definitely. It's just even sometimes I'll be sitting there ear hustling, eavesdropping while I'm working on some other things. And man, it's always a damn good conversation. So shout out to y'all. And let me pull up the linky link. You feel me? And some more tie-ins. And then we'll slide off in there. There we go. All right, cool. So I'm inviting y'all to go to Discord. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Ed Honcho Live on Facebook. All that's at the bottom of the little old school projection screen TV that I'm currently sitting in. Bad and Bougie made requests, so I guess I have to go back to the old, not the old, but the other TV tomorrow, since he said this was too small. If I don't, then y'all say that I hate black women because I didn't listen. But you know I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? There we go. There's a link to that. Here's the deal. I fucks with y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, it is my honor. It is my privilege, but most of all, my pleasure. And it's just, it's such a cool thing, like I said, to get to chop it up with y'all. So, Monday through Fridays, around 9 o'clock. Stay tuned. Because, you know, I'm always switching up schedules and things and stuff like that. But stay tuned. And in the upcoming weeks, I've been just debating some stuff and thinking about some things. And like I know y'all know, my schedule's been kind of janky. I've had some misses here and there, but I will talk about it. Like I said, it's all for good reason. And just stay tuned. But let's slide to the Discord. I'll see y'all there. I'm trying to produce. Y'all be cool. Y'all ain't got to go home. But you absolutely, positively must get the fuck up out of here. I'm gone. Not now. What happens next is what we're packing wrong. A little vacation. Maybe something. Piece of shit. So. Do 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 do.